Hey, I tried to stream live a few hours ago, so if you caught that, then um, thanks for being present for both that and this, because that would immediately make it that you are really watching my shit, which I'm always grateful for. I'm so grateful, so always grateful for people who pay attention to what I have to say and engage. And yeah, I'm very appreciative of your awareness on me. Like I said earlier, I tried to do this a few hours ago. It did not work out because I lost my stream of channeling that I was doing. I had to break in the middle to tend to my son. So I'm grateful that that happened the way that it did anyway, because this now allows me to... Let me finish recording. This then allows me to kind of compress everything that I tried to do earlier, because I think I was yapping now that I think back to it. It was huge yappery, and it does get pretty yappy with these intuitive channelings, because there's always so much to say, and I think there's especially a lot to say right now. But for this stream, I think that what I would like to do is just list the patterns and things I've been recognizing. Please, if you recognize the same, let me know. I also mentioned earlier on in the previous reading that I did that I would really appreciate and to just reinforce the intention that I had with creating this and putting my presence online. I really need the interaction in order to function and to understand. It would be so helpful for me to understand the collective energy that I process daily, and to get a keen sense of how it is that these energies are playing out on individual levels. There's definitely such a strong sense of the pattern that has been hovering above us, permeating through us and our consciousness, and tiny little forms of awakenings and very deep, entwined, complicated, layered realizations about ourselves, our families, our friends, the people we attract, the people we've connected to in the past. I'd also been feeling into, or recognizing the pattern of big exits and entrances, big new beginnings, big endings, both of which can be taken in the extreme sense of life and death, pregnancies, and like the endings and beginnings can be considered on physiological levels. And I think the physiological component of how things can begin and end, not just with birth and death, but with, for example, a shift of a state of being, of a way of feeling, of a way of physically operating, where it is that illnesses arise, or a new way of existing in your body. Your relationship with your body might be changing very drastically. The way that you feel, the sensations may be very intense. And I'm sure by now we all get into the whole ascension symptoms of it. And I've already made a video regarding how I locate the difference, a practical way of how I sort out the difference in my body between ascension symptoms and physical, actual things I need to get a professional diagnosis for. I think that's going to start being very important, especially during this time of shifts, new ways and states of being. I do think that there has been enough proof and confirmation from doctors themselves of the influence that our subconscious or inner worlds have over our physical outer worlds, very specifically and most obviously our physical bodies. I think that it, beg your pardon. I think that it is going to become very important and a lot easier to recognize and a lot more obvious and in our faces, how much influence we have over our bodies, and how just that influence is a good enough reflection of the kind of influence we have over our actual living, perceiving worlds. That is all to say that school is continuing. We're still in Hogwarts. We are elevating our skills. We are learning so much about, the internal versus external world. I feel called to really emphasize that. I'm also feeling into a certain level of underestimation or a lack of understanding fully the existence of a divine being or divine energy that is looking after us, protecting us, holds our best interest at heart at every moment, including the moments when we feel like that is not true. It's becoming more dire in the sense that the veil is getting thinner. The veil has disappeared. I think maybe even at this point, the masks, the veils, the masks, they're so gone that it's almost like they've gone past the point of existence. We are forming and stepping into new realities where it's as if there was no veil. That's something that I've been trying to put into practice in terms of healing myself from past traumas and trying to rewrite anew so that I don't live from that trauma anymore. I've started to, I've been trying to. I must admit, this past week's been very difficult to apply this. It's been a very heavy, low, exhausting, slow, sluggish week. But it is something that always sits with me. The idea that I should be moving from a version of myself, try to access a version of myself that has had a secure relationship with a desired caretaker or etc. since childhood. Behaving like a version of myself that had a safe childhood, got a chance to develop her ego, has a secure attachment with her own self and with her reality. It's obviously a huge leap to actually apply this. Likely, if you're watching and resonate with my work, then it's a ridiculously huge leap to go from where we are with the trauma and the darkness that we hold and have to process to a version that never got any of that. But then obviously balancing that with knowing that there is no version of you that exists in this reality and you have to make the most of it. Acceptance. It's very important, that one as well. Which I think is also underestimated or perverted in some way, because on some level, on some level, acceptance can be perceived as a kind of apathy or like there's nothing I can do about it, so I may as well do nothing. Definitely not the difference. However, because we are so accepted by the universe that holds us and that creates us, we can do that if we want. We can do anything. Also, big message point, theme, channeling consistently. We can do whatever we want to do. And it may seem otherwise, considering how thin everything is, considering how thin the thread is on which the whole of reality seems to be balanced right now. It feels like a lot of people are holding frequencies of survival and fear, and I can't take too much of a risk to this. I have to stay as focused, as logical, and keep doing as much of the things as I'm supposed to do as possible so that I can keep myself safe and not fall off, because it's a dog-eat-dog world and nobody has my back but me. And I need to do what I need to do in order to stay up. nobody else is going to pay these bills. Let's get this bread. It's just too much, and I don't know how to communicate this without directly saying it, but there is a way through life and through perception. There's a perceptive way in which, or that involves feeling so overwhelmed and feeling so overwhelmed that you are faced with the option of go or stay still. I think that this part is a personality trait, but for me, I go. When I'm so overwhelmed and there's nothing else to do, there's so much grief, I'm so weighted, or I'm so tired, or I'm so angry, or I'm so whatever, when I've reached the capacity of that extreme experience, that is when I snap into freedom and a perceived impulsiveness and say, fuck it, I can just do what I want then, because I don't know what else to do, and I'm not going to not do nothing. So I may as well just do something, as long as it's not hurting anyone, causing any harm. And it feels true in my body. It feels right, true, aligned, then why not do it? Why not do it? No matter how crazy it may sound or seem externally, from the outside, from someone whose judgment you hold dear, from a family member, a friend, a loved one, from the general society's rules that tell you that you can't do that thing because da-di-da-di-da-di. Just you and you. If just you and you are okay with this truth, or with doing the thing, or with making the action, making the decision, then why not do it? You should do it. Now is absolutely the time, no matter what it is, as long as it's true to you, and that you can quote me on. I'm not telling you to do any exact thing. I'm telling you to follow your truth and saying that that has never been more important, ever. It's always important. But right now, I think it'll be plenty obvious. Those who are not following their truths and who are following a kind of system and rule and understanding that came from outside of them, versus those who are truly connected, or at the very least, on mission to connect with that truth within them. All we've ever needed is intention. So long as you keep intending on connecting to your truth, that's all we have. We only have the truth of our, we only have that frequency, the frequency of our truth and what feels most to us, Breathing is as well, this is a random note, I'm sorry I didn't mention that, but now I'm going to the next point. Breathing is closely linked to that truth and to the expression of it. There are plenty of things that you can say and do and believe in, but none of them, in my experience, have been, like, our opinions are changeable. What we believe in and what we say is changeable. Sometimes we may blurt out things that don't align to a truth within us. But just getting a sense of that place within through the breath, through breathing and through presence, and clearing the noise and what other noise can descend to you. Figuring out how to deal with that, dealing with the noise. Helps me to breathe, but that's something that I think is also very important for people to face so that we can change this victimhood that's also permeating into empowerment. It's not easy to walk a journey where you are trying to I've forgotten the frequency of what I was trying to tap into. As individuals walking this world, seeing so many falseness, experiencing it, seeing people perpetuated in your life, it's not easy to try to shine truth on things you know, even within your own self. And it's a noble journey that we've all decided to do, to embark on, to seek truth and to stay to it and to be passionate about life and passion and to try to find a way out, you know, a way out that suits us. And this journey has felt very long, and it feels like it's only getting longer. But I feel like it will come to a very soon clear understanding of everything that we've been doing this whole time. There's been a very specific reason for this, each suited to each individual, but I believe overall has a description, has a meaning, whatever the word is, a description, a meaning of love, and of the fact that it is true, it always has been. The places in which there is love lacking also have a love you will see. There's so much, that's a phrase as well that's been very, very true and big for me. Like all these questions, there's been so many. The grief, the heaviness, it really brings up all these questions of why, what, how, when. And a very consistent, energetic response. So this is like, I'm going to deliver a phrase, but it could be in any, you know, the words could be anything, but I'm trying to capture the energy. It's very, you'll see, you know, you'll see. Very the fool. Very, very much like, I'm trying to get a playful sense of this, of the response to this, because there's an understanding of the weight that we've been processing. It's heavy, it has sucked. And no one's saying that it hasn't, and no one's saying that you're not allowed to cry about it. You should. You have every right to throw plenty a tantrum over, and it feels like this is what's happening, tantrums over a grief that has triggered a greater tantrum over just the whole of life. Just everything sucks, you know? There's a playful response to that energy that I am struggling to relay because I'm in the tantrum energy, everything sucks. I can find my wisdom after doing work, after doing yoga and praying and stuff. And meditating, that has been incredible. I really, as I've done in almost every reading now, implore you to stick to your rituals and take them seriously, because we're really going to need them. And I think that now is the time to master them. And once we master them, you'll see, you know. So the energy that you'll see energy is very, it's playful. It's, you could not understand. And I'm sure we've heard these words so many times. You could not understand the timing and the shifts, the detailed shifts. And I'm feeling into the kind of detail of your shifts. They go as deep as like, you thought a thing at a specific time of a specific day that changed your mind about something. And that mind change changes your life and you know what I mean? Or from just a single thought you had randomly, just a random, interesting, I never thought of that before. Or someone saying something to you. That inner shift, that's how detailed shifts can become, where it happens inside of your emotional body, or when it happens on a physical level, you know? You couldn't imagine how important those things were for the deal that you made on a soul level with your life. I'm feeling as well into the possibility that we're trying, and again, I've said this before. Yeah, I'm tired of repeating myself here. But I'm also trying to come to understand that like the repetition is because of the fact that the lessons aren't done. Like we're just not, there are some things that we're struggling with right now, and it's fine. It's okay, you know? We're still trying to take too much control over things that we do not, we over things that if we didn't have control over them, our life, like if we released the control that we're so desperate to have over some certain things, certain parts of our lives, we'd be able to live much happier lives, you know? So annoying. But anyway, the insistence that some of us have on not surrendering is really keeping us locked in this state of underworld inhabitants. It's keeping us low. We're keeping our own selves low because we insist on knowing everything, you know, or staying ahead of everything. We insist on and I think this feels like it's also showing up in people who enjoy being those kinds of people. People who enjoy being the person that everybody relies on, the person who always fixes things, the person, you know, that frequency. There's some people who are proud of that role, but it's weighing them down very heavily. And it feels like this may be the season of like burnout. Yeah. I think that collectively it feels like we're at a huge risk of burning out. Also end of year fatigue, but this end of year fatigue feels new. Feels very new. And most importantly, yeah, I'm saying it again. And it's because I've done this before, it feels like, oh, yeah. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, let me just get to it. Inner world versus outer world, the influence of the internal on the external is it feels like to me is the most important thing. That's the thing we're trying to master right now. I think that's the thing from which we will be able to do things like manifest, heal, manipulate our reality, play telepathy, you know, connect with our true unions. Yeah, all of these ideas are very hard to tap into during a time of grief, and it just feels like it feels like there's so much grief in the air right now, and I can't ignore that. A lot of pain and exhaustion, and just when will things turn around? And all I can say is wait. I'm so annoyed even hearing that. Oh, my word, guys. Yeah. Wait. Just hold on a second. Just hold on, you know? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I find it very fun, and I think you should try this yourself if you feel that you are an intuitive, or if you've just been playing with your intuition and you want to explore more of it. It's very fun to try to figure out what it is that my God, the great God, whoever, could be telling me, what this moment itself could be telling me. It's very fun to sit in the silence and figure out what it's trying to say back. Very hard to do if you're feeling through pain right now. But I think that the pain itself is alive in the same way, so you can sit in the quiet, ask that silence, what is the pain trying to teach me? Wait for the revelations to come. They'll come in mounds. It feels like we have access to incredible libraries of healing, timeline jumping, Akashic record reading, all of that, opening portals, all of that stuff, all of that woo-woo stuff is so alive right now. And there for us to play with for real. This is a time of play. It's a time of processing and healing, rewriting, starting anew, burning everything, you know? And again, as usual, as always, we were made for this. This is it, you know? This is it. So we have very little reason to feel excited. Alongside all the low and the heavy that we're processing, we also have full reign to be so eager to be alive at this point in time, at this point in history, and to really just sit and watch, because it feels like something absolutely incredible is happening, and it's going to just keep getting more incredible in the magnificent sense, and on a line of disbelief, truly. Miracles and coincidences raining down one upon the other, where we are just so overwhelmed with the presence of like a possibility and potential. It's gonna widen our eyes and quicken our heartbeats, and our minds are gonna flow, and it's just gonna be crazy. I get the sense that sleep will also be affected for that reason, for the processing. Outside of the full moon, it's again, I've mentioned inner outer, it takes a toll on the body to process emotional weight and to timeline jump and portal open and da 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 da. That's why eating healthy and hydrating is very important. The simple things are so important right now. The simple things, the waters, the sitting in nature, the giving yourself a few minutes a day to just sit and do nothing. Yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you again so much if you are one of the people who tapped into both this channeling and the one I did earlier. I didn't have to delete the one that I did earlier, but yeah, it's part of the times we're in as well, which I don't know if I've mentioned in this video, but the emotional upheavals, the potential for an emotional outbreak. It's like, yes, we've been making jokes for many seasons now that we're always this close to start crying, like don't ask me how I am or I'll burst into tears kind of thing. Feels major right now. That feels like a very, it's the sense of overwhelm. But it's nothing bigger than us. And it's, again, like I've said, something we are made for. This is what so many of us, not just us as individuals, but so many of us have been leading up to seeing. You know, it feels like the act of observing and just watching and paying attention is a very important thing that is very underrated because of how quiet and slow and still the process is. Like, you don't earn any money by observing and just being still and watching, but I promise you it's going to be worth so much more than you can earn in any lifetime by choosing to just sit and be still right now and look, you know, something's happening. Very exciting. Very little words to describe it. I believe all you can do is really be patient, sit and observe and be present. Talking in circles, done with this channeling, feeling very excited, low and aggrieved myself, but trying to balance everything and sending you all of my love. And I'll see you again in the next live stream.